Okay, so given this IP address with prefix 26, we want to subnet, or we want to divide this IP address into smaller networks. So how can you do that? So first thing you need to do, you need to compare this IP address with the default IP addresses. So we find that this IP address falls in range what? C, or it is class C IP address. So now, by default, class C IP address is what? 24 bits. It is what? 24 bits, or slash 24 bits. Okay, so now what does that mean? It means in the subnet mask, by default, class C IP address has 24 ones. Now this one is is the IP address class C, but it has what? 26 ones. So which means they have borrowed 2 bits from the host. Okay, so now how do you determine the number of networks? Okay, so first thing, you get 26 minus the default mask, which is 24, and it's going to give us 2. So these 2, there are 2 bits borrowed from the what? The network, or from the hosts. Okay, so at this stage we can introduce our formula. So our formula is 2 to the power n. So n is the number of borrowed bits. N is the number of borrowed bits. So 2, we can now substitute, which is going to give us 4. So this 4, they are the networks, or the subnets, which can be divided on this what? IP address with this prefix 26. Okay, so now how do you determine the number of hosts on each network? So the number of hosts on each network can be defined using the formula. Our formula is 2 power n minus 2. Okay, so but before that, we know that by default the subnet mask is 32 bits. By default the subnet mask is 32 bits, but here we have 26 bits. So what we're going to do, we're going to do 32 bits minus 26 bits, which is going to give us 6. So 6 host bits. Okay, so now this 6 host bits, it is going to help us to determine the number of what? Hosts on each network. So how do you do that? So we're going to substitute this 6 on here. So we're going to have 2 6 minus 2, which is going to give us 64 minus 2, which is going to give us 62. So each network will have 62 hosts. Each network will have 62 hosts. Okay, so now why did we subtract 2? So these 2 represent 2 number of words, hosts. One is the broadcast network, then the other one, it is the network IP address. The first one is going to be the IP address or IP network. Then the other one is going to be the what? The broadcast address.